Hi, everybody.
Hi, Steve.
Steve, you said after the loss on Tuesday that you guys, it forced you to look in the mirror. I think after 3 A's, you guys kind of get it together for this game.
Yeah, we had a good couple of days of practice, and I thought good chance to reflect on the season and our goals, and a chance now to bounce back tonight against a great team here at home. So I think everybody's excited to play.
Steve, when you look at this season against some of the marquee teams, the ones that are considered at the top in the East and the West, what do you just make of the mixed report of not only the results but just the discrepancy?
I have no idea. We've had some great nights here, and we've had some very poor efforts. So the only thing you can do is lock in on today, and I do think that there's our guys sense that we're now on the home stretch, and that should be a positive for us. We've talked about this many times, but it's been a long haul. It's been a wonderful journey these last few years, but it takes its toll. So I think now is a really good time to understand where we are and see the home stretch and pick up the pace a little bit.
Steve, do you have a time frame for when Bogut is going to join the team? Is that still uncertain? Does it look like you have a date? And then when he gets here, you think you might just play him right away since he's been in the season?
So when we talked a few days ago, he just said middle of next week was his estimate. I know we'll be on the road. I know he mentioned that the visa issue is a little bit tricky. I think he's got to arrive and then fly up to Vancouver and fly back before all that is resolved. So it's a little tricky, but good thing with Bogut, and one of the reasons we were interested in him is he knows us, he knows our style. It'll take him about 5 minutes to pick up the offense because it's basically the same as it was when he was here. We know he's in good shape. He played 30 minutes a night in Australia. He's feeling great, and played at a high level. So if he can help us win a game, then he'll be out there right away. But he and I talked about the fact that there's no guarantees of anything. He's not coming in to enter the rotation right away. It's going to be a feeling out process, and for both sides. But I wouldn't hesitate to put him in.
Steve, you guys obviously have a lot of veterans who've been here and have a core, but how much does Steph sort of set the tone when times are good, when you guys are winning, and also when you struggle a bit as you have the last 7 8?
Well, I mean, I think the beauty of Steph is that he doesn't get too high or low during the season. He brings a calm to the team. He brings a sense of humor. And he brings a work ethic. It's really inspiring for me, day after day after day, as we conclude practice. You guys are all walking in, and you see Kevin and Steph and Clay getting their routines in. Just sets an incredible example for our younger players, when all your best players are out there getting extra work in. So we're lucky to have the guys we do, and obviously Steph is the elder statesman on the team in terms of being here now for 10 years. So he sets a great tone.
Coach, we've seen a lot of unique players on this court. Steph's one, James Harden's one. Jokic presents a whole different set of talent. How do you game plan for a guy like that, and how unique is he compared to other centers in the league?
Well, he's a brilliant passer, and the ability to step out and shoot a three, obviously, changes the equation a little bit. He reminds me a little bit of Arvydas Sabonis, one of the great passing centers of all time. So he's fun to watch. He's not fun to have to guard, but I think you just have to try to speed things up as best you can, without giving him easy passing lanes. If you can keep him off balance a little bit, you have a better chance for success. But like all great players, no matter what you do, at the end of the night, he's going to have a big line in the box score, and so you just don't get too concerned about numbers and all that. You just try to stay aggressive all night.
What was the bigger coaching challenge for you last year when it was kind of complacency and those late season injuries, or this year with just everything that's gone on?
It actually is very similar. I think what we've been going through the last couple of weeks feels an awful lot like last year's end of the season. You know, defense lacking, energy lacking. So the key is how do you bounce back? We bounced back last year in the first round of the playoffs. You know, had a really good defensive series against San Antonio. I'd like to see some of that before we get to the playoffs. That'd be nice. We still have whatever it is, 17, 18 games left. So, you know, we've got a chance to solidify some things and to get some momentum here with our health. Knock on wood, coming back and players returning. So we'll see how it goes.
Steve, you mentioned that Bogut will come into Oakland and maybe stop by for a little bit before he goes up to Vancouver. Do you expect him just to have time to say hi, or is he going to get a practice in before he goes up to Vancouver?
Certainly hope he comes and says hello. At least a little wave, you know. I don't know. Other than that conversation, you know, the other day where he told me that he'd probably have to fly up to Vancouver. That's all I know. So we haven't been in touch since, and so I'm sure he's busy, you know, getting his life in order. He's bringing Jess and their boys, and it's a lot of work to move a family over, even if it's just for a few months. But it's, you know, he's got a lot going on.
Steve, you mentioned the journey, and I just was curious to get your thoughts on your own personal experience, because 5 years. You've only been a head coach for 5 years, but every year you've had this team in an elite position. What has that been like for you? I know you'd rather talk about the team, but I mean, I'm just curious to get your thoughts about what this journey has been like for you.
Well, I mean, it's incredible to coach this group. You know, my first coaching job, to inherit this group of players. I'm never going to allow myself to take that for granted. And so we're trying to enjoy every step of the way. Inevitably, you know, there will be a turnover in the roster and a new era coming, whenever that is. So try to make the most of every moment, and I'm well aware of how fortunate I am.
Steve, you've been on this journey with these guys. Many of them have been with you the whole time, and as he said, it's such an elite group. How do you find creative ways to kind of get the best out of them when they're not giving you their best at this time of the season?
It's not about tricking them or anything like that. It's not about doing anything different or fun. I mean, that is kind of part of our program, as we try to keep things interesting and light and do some different things. But it doesn't matter what we do at this stage. It's you know, it's all about the group understanding where we are and understanding the timing. And to me, it's kind of time. You know, it's time to start playing and defending our home court and gearing up. We want to feel good going into the playoffs. So the biggest message, the best message a coach can give a team is an honest one. So we've been pretty honest the last couple of days about our shortcomings, and hopefully we're ready to roll tonight.
Last one, Bill. Jordan Bell played pretty well lately, and you've reflected on that. Do you think that's just him getting more opportunity, or did he figure some things out during those stretches when he wasn't playing as much?
I think both. I mean, he's had more opportunity because of Looney's injury. But he's also played well and played his role. I think it started in Portland the game before the All-Star break. He played a great high-energy game. He generated extra possessions, rebounded well. And, you know, that's what we're looking for from him, is an awareness of his role and how he's going to help us win games. And he's been doing that for the last few weeks. So very happy with Jordan's progress. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.